What if the power went out tonight? No heat, no lights, no working ovens. During the 2021 Texas freeze, over 200 people died from the cold, not the storm. Don't let that happen to you. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're covering 12 heating sources that don't need electricity. From propane heaters to DIY hacks and even body heat, these options work for every budget and space stick around. The last one is simple, often overlooked, and could save your night. 1. Propane heaters. Let's kick things off with a classic that every prepper should have on hand, a small propane heater. These compact units can heat a single room in just minutes, giving you immediate relief when the power goes out and temperatures start dropping fast. Propane tanks themselves are surprisingly resilient. If stored properly, they can last for years without losing pressure or effectiveness. That means a $100 investment today could keep your family warm for several winters to come. Safety is key though. Always crack a window slightly to allow fresh air in, because even a small propane flame consumes oxygen. Imagine this. Outside, the neighborhood is shivering through a winter blackout. But inside your living room, you're sitting comfortably, maybe sipping a warm drink, knowing your family is safe. That contrast, the chaos outside versus the calm inside, is what makes a propane heater not just a convenience, but a potential lifesaver. According to FEMA and the Department of Energy, portable heaters like these are among the top recommendations for emergency preparedness during winter power outages, because they provide quick, efficient warmth without relying on the grid. In fact, during the 2021 Texas freeze, families who had access to small propane heaters reported significantly fewer cases of cold-related injuries. And later in this video, I'll share a little trick to make your propane heater last even longer during extended outages, something most people don't think about until it's too late. This setup combines affordability, efficiency, and life-saving potential, making it a cornerstone of any winter prep plan. 2. Kerosene heaters. Next up, let's talk about a tried and true classic, kerosene heaters. These old-school heaters are surprisingly powerful, capable of keeping a room warm for hours without electricity. They've been lifesavers during real emergencies. Take the 1998 North American ice storm, for example. Entire communities were plunged into darkness for days, and families relied on kerosene heaters to survive the freezing temperatures. People who had access to them reported significantly fewer cases of cold-related injuries compared to neighbors without a backup heat source. Kerosene heaters are compact, portable, and burn hot, making them ideal for emergency situations. But safety is crucial. Always use 1K grade kerosene, as recommended by the Department of Energy, and never skip ventilation. A cracked window or door is enough to keep fresh air circulating and prevent dangerous fumes from building up. Remember, warmth is life-saving, but oxygen is non-negotiable. During winter outages, FEMA emphasizes that alternative heat sources like kerosene heaters can reduce the risk of hypothermia when homes are unheated. And here's a human touch. Think of a family huddled together, the heater humming quietly in the corner while the wind howls outside. It's more than comfort. It's peace of mind in a situation where every degree counts. Later, I'll show you how to safely extend the burn time of your kerosene heater so you can get through longer blackouts without constantly refueling, a tip most people overlook until it's too late. In short, kerosene heaters are a small investment with massive survival potential, especially when winter strikes hard. 3. Wood stoves. If you live in a rural area, a wood stove isn't just a backup, it's your powerhouse. Picture this: the storm hits hard, the grid is down, the house is dropping degrees with each hour. But in the corner of your home, the fire is roaring in the stove. You're cooking supper, drying clothes on a rack nearby, and feeling real warmth while others are caught shivering under blankets. That's what a wood stove gives you. Heat, cooking, drying, all in one. The United States Fire Administration says home heating appliances, like wood stoves, are second only to fires caused by faulty equipment. Over 32,200 home heating fires were reported in 2021, resulting in around 190 deaths and hundreds of injuries. So yes, it works, but it demands respect and safe use. Here's how you make it work for survival. Use dry, seasoned hardwood. That means less smoke, less creosote buildup, and more efficient heat. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, Using an EPA-certified wood stove with dry wood can consume 1/3 less fuel while providing the same heat. Store cords of wood under cover, away from moisture, and you've got fuel ready for winter's worst. Installation isn't optional. You'll want proper venting, a clean chimney, and safe clearance from walls and flammables. The Columbus Fire Department advises, use only seasoned hardwood, keep air inlets open, never restrict air supply to stoves. When others are layering blankets and watching their thermostat slide down, you'll be warm, dry, and operating with confidence. A wood stove isn't just old-fashioned. It's smart, reliable, and maybe the best long-haul heat source you can have. 4. Pellet stoves, gravity-fed models. Okay, let's dive into one of the smarter long-haul heating options, a gravity-fed pellet stove. Most modern pellet stoves need electricity to power their augers, fans, and controls, which means if the grid goes down, they might go dark too. But a gravity-fed model? It doesn't rely on those electronics. It simply lets pellets drop by gravity into the burn chamber, you light it, and you're in business. That makes it a serious candidate for cold weather crises when you want warmth that won't quit. Here's what the data say. According to the United States Environmental Protection Agency, certified pellet stoves operate in the 70 to 83% efficiency range, meaning 70 to 83 cents of every dollar of fuel energy becomes usable heat. That's impressive. And in prepping, efficiency equals endurance. When you're working with limited fuel, you want every pellet to count. Now, imagine the scene. Power is off, it's freezing outside, and you've sealed off one room as your warm zone. You light the gravity-fed pellet stove. It kicks into gear, and heat begins radiating across the room. While most folks are shivering, you're comfortably warm. You're also using clean fuel that stacks easy, burns efficiently, and lasts. But, and this is important, a gravity-fed pellet stove still demands planning. You'll need quality pellets stored dry, proper venting, and a safe installation. The standard pellet stove still uses electricity for motors and fans, so your gravity version matters because it removes that vulnerability. In short, if you're prepping for long-term grid failure or extended cold snaps, a gravity-fed pellet stove offers reliable, efficient warmth without dependence on electricity. It's not cheap, but it's one of the most practical heat sources you can invest in. 5. Charcoal and clay pot heaters. Sometimes the simplest solutions are the smartest. A DIY clay pot heater can be built with just a few inexpensive items, a metal rack, some clay pots, and hot charcoal. Place the pots over the charcoal, and they act like mini radiators, slowly releasing heat into a small room. Europeans have relied on this trick for decades during fuel shortages, and it's been documented as a low-cost emergency heating method in survival guides and DIY prepper manuals. Here's why it works. Charcoal burns hot and long, and the clay pots absorb and radiate that heat evenly. In a sealed or partially sealed room, a single setup can raise the temperature several degrees above freezing, enough to make a big difference in comfort and safety during a blackout. FEMA lists safe heating practices as a top concern during winter outages, emphasizing ventilation to prevent carbon monoxide buildup. Picture this. Power is out, it's freezing outside, and your neighborhood is shivering. You set up this small clay pot heater in your living room. It's quiet, it's cheap, and it works. While neighbors huddle under blankets, you're feeling warmth slowly spreading through the space. Of course, ventilation is essential. Crack a window, let in fresh air. Safety first. Up next, we'll cover the tiniest, most inexpensive items that can still save lives by keeping frostbite at bay and cost less than a cup of coffee. You won't want to miss this. 6. Candle heaters. When the power goes out and the temperature drops, even the smallest source of heat becomes priceless. A simple candle heater setup, just a few tea lights under inverted clay pots, can provide a surprising amount of warmth in a small space. You'd be amazed how much a $5 setup can do to keep your hands, feet, and core from getting dangerously cold. FEMA emphasizes maintaining body heat as a key survival priority during winter blackouts, noting that prolonged exposure to cold indoors can be just as deadly as being outside. This isn't just theory. During winter emergencies, such as localized power outages in northern U.S. states, residents have relied on candle heaters to keep small rooms just warm enough to prevent frostbite in children and the elderly. It's low-tech, low-cost, and portable. You can move it from room to room or tuck it under blankets for targeted warmth. Of course, safety is essential. Never leave flames unattended, keep them on a stable, fireproof surface, and ensure some ventilation to avoid carbon monoxide buildup. Imagine this. The grid is down, streets are silent under a frozen blanket of snow, neighbors are huddled under layers of blankets, and you have a little oasis of warmth quietly glowing on your table. That small $5 setup isn't just comfort. It's peace of mind and a tiny life-saving edge in an emergency. Up next, we'll move from small DIY heaters to butane and camping stoves, compact tools that can heat and even cook when the lights are out. 7. Butane and camping stoves. When the grid goes dark, a butane or camping stove isn't just for cooking. It becomes a portable heat source. These stoves radiate enough warmth to take the edge off a freezing apartment or small cabin, giving you both comfort and a sense of control. During a blackout, FEMA lists alternative heating methods as a critical part of emergency preparedness, especially for people living in urban or multi-unit housing where traditional heaters may not be an option. The beauty of butane stoves is their compact fuel and reusability. Small canisters store easily in closets or pantries, and one canister can last hours depending on usage. During recent winter emergencies in the U.S., such as localized 2023 power outages in the Midwest, many households turn to camping stoves to both cook food and maintain a small warm zone in a single room. It's simple, reliable, and surprisingly efficient for such a tiny device. Safety is key. Use them in a well-ventilated area to avoid carbon monoxide buildup, and never operate them while sleeping. Imagine this: snow piling up outside, heat slipping through windows, and neighbors huddling in cold silence, and you have a small, controlled warmth radiating from your countertop. That compact stove isn't just about meals. It's survival comfort you can store and reuse. Next, we'll cover thermal mass techniques, one of the oldest, simplest, and cheapest ways to keep your feet warm all night without electricity. 8. Thermal mass DIY heat storage. Here's a trick that's simple, cheap, and incredibly effective. Thermal mass heat storage. Take metal containers, water jugs, or even soda cans, fill them with hot water, wrap them in towels, and place them near your feet or around a small area. That heat radiates slowly, keeping you warm for hours without electricity. Soldiers, mountaineers, and backcountry campers have relied on this method for decades because it works. It's the kind of old-school, practical solution that modern life often forgets. Why it matters in a home blackout. During a 2023 winter power outage in parts of the Midwest, people reported that placing hot water bottles in sleeping areas made a noticeable difference in comfort, even when indoor temperatures dropped below freezing. FEMA and DHS both recommend creating warm zones during extended power outages, and thermal mass is a low-cost, low-risk way to do exactly that. The beauty is in its simplicity. No fuel, no noise, no moving parts, and it's totally safe if you use caution with hot water. Pair a few jugs with blankets or a sleeping bag, and suddenly, a single room becomes a cozy survival hub. Up next, we're talking about oil-filled radiators with solar or battery backup. Silent, efficient, and perfect for anyone wanting a dependable warm zone in their home during extended outages. 9. Oil-filled radiators with solar or battery backup. If you want quiet, safe, and reliable heat during a blackout, oil-filled radiators are a game changer. Unlike electric heaters that stop working the moment the power goes out, these units retain heat for hours because the oil inside holds warmth long after the electricity cycles off. That means even a small solar setup or battery bank can keep your bedroom or living room home comfortably warm without constant attention. During the 2022 to 2023 winter in the Northeast, many households that paired small solar panels with portable oil-filled radiators reported staying several degrees warmer than neighbors relying on candles or propane stoves. FEMA and NOAA recommend creating warm zones in homes during extended outages, and these radiators fit that advice perfectly. Silent, safe around children and pets, and easy to relocate. What makes them even better is efficiency. A 5-gallon oil-filled unit can heat a medium-sized room with minimal energy input, making it ideal for small solar arrays or battery banks. You don't need an entire home solar setup to stay comfortable. just a focused warm zone for sleeping or spending most of your day. Coming up, a portable gas option that adds instant warmth and morale, the kind of comfort that makes winter blackouts a little less terrifying. 10 portable gas fireplaces. When the power goes out and the chill sets in, nothing lifts spirits like a portable gas fireplace. Ventless models run on propane or natural gas and deliver instant warmth, making a small room feel cozy in minutes. According to FEMA's winter preparedness guidance, creating a warm zone in your home is essential during extended outages, and these units fit that need perfectly. During the 2021 Texas freeze, households with access to propane stoves or fireplaces reported staying several degrees warmer indoors, while neighbors struggled with freezing temperatures. Beyond the heat, the visual comfort of a flickering flame provides a psychological boost. Morale matters when the cold stretches on for days. Even NOAA emphasizes that maintaining warmth isn't just about survival, it's about keeping mental health stable in emergencies. Safety is crucial. Ventless units release some combustion byproducts, so proper ventilation is non-negotiable. Just a slightly cracked window can prevent dangerous buildup. And with compact propane tanks, these fireplaces are portable enough to move from room to room, making them perfect for temporary warm zones in bedrooms or living areas. Up next, a tiny DIY option that costs just a few dollars yet can keep frostbite at bay. It's a survival trick most people completely overlook. 11. Alcohol heaters. When you think of emergency heating, most people picture big, bulky devices. But sometimes, small is life-saving. A simple DIY alcohol heater, using rubbing alcohol in a metal container, can provide surprising warmth for a small room or tent. FEMA and the CDC emphasize that in confined spaces, even modest heat sources can reduce the risk of hypothermia, especially for children or older adults during winter outages. These heaters are portable, inexpensive, and clean burning, making them perfect for apartments, cabins, or even a car stranded in a snowstorm. In addition to heat, they double as an emergency cooking source for small meals. Think heating soup or boiling water. During recent winter emergencies, like the 2021 Texas freeze, households that improvised with small, safe heat sources often had a noticeable edge in comfort and safety, particularly in rooms away from central heating. Of course, safety is critical. Alcohol burns with an almost invisible flame, so you want to keep a watchful eye, ensure proper ventilation, and never use these heaters in crowded or highly flammable areas. A $5 setup can mean the difference between shivering in a small room and staying reasonably warm, giving you peace of mind while waiting for power to return. Coming up next, we'll explore the oldest heat source you already have on hand, and how to turn it into a 10 to 15 degree Fahrenheit warm zone during a blackout. It's simple, free, and surprisingly effective. 12. Body heat and insulation. Sometimes, the oldest heat source in the world is the one you're wearing, yourself. In a blackout or deep freeze, your body can actually keep you alive if you use it strategically. FEMA and the CDC repeatedly emphasize that hypothermia can set in within hours at indoor temperatures below 50 degrees Fahrenheit, especially for children and seniors. Creating a small, insulated warm zone in your home can make all the difference. Start by layering clothing. Think thermal underwear, sweaters, socks, and hats. Next, seal off a single room, hang blankets over doors or windows, and pile towels along floors to block drafts. Huddle with family members or even pets. The combined body heat can keep the temperature 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than the rest of the house. It's a trick survivalists, mountaineers, and even homeless outreach teams have relied on for decades. Even simple habits make a huge impact. Cover your head, keep extremities warm, and stay dry. Moisture steals body heat faster than anything else, so a damp shirt can undo hours of careful layering. It's amazing how instinct, combined with a little preparation, can turn your own body into a powerful, free, and life-saving heater. Next, we'll cover a final tip that combines your body heat with smart insulation tricks. A low-cost, high-impact way to survive a prolonged blackout. It's simple, it's free, and it works. If you found this helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more life-saving prepping tips, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Comment below, which heating method would you stockpile first?